how did you stay positive during tough time? Okay, yeah, that is a really good question. How do I stay positive during the tough time? um okay, so I'm actually going through very tough time in my life. Okay, yeah, it was one of the toughest time. Okay, is it tough time? Well, I'm not really sure is it tough time. Okay, yeah. Because I think that ki life is always meant to be running. Okay, yeah. And probably you never really know what is actually the tough time and what is actually the toughest time. And like basically we always think about present moment, and whatever the consequences that we are facing, we think it is that ki this is kind of like a some really tough time. Like basically, like if you ask this question to the everyone, like have you went through tough time, everyone says that yes, I'm going through very tough time. Everyone says that yeah, I'm going through very tough time, this and that, because everyone has a problem. Yeah, everyone has a problem, and everyone is actually solving the problem, and everyone thinks that ki my problem is one of the biggest problem in the world. So basically they think that ki I am went through kind of like assembly one of the biggest toughest time and things like that. Okay, yeah. Is it bad? Is it kind of like a something think it is that ki everyone has a problem? It's a kind of like a perspective, dude. Okay, yeah. Because let me tell you one thing. Okay, yeah. Mostly we are kind of like a human. We actually think about first about ourselves. Okay, ourselves, our parents, our family, and things like that. Okay, yeah. And then whatever the kind of like a something compassion that we have, we think about others too. Okay, yeah. But mostly we think about ourselves. What exactly is this thing? Like no, we actually think about others too. Yeah, but let me tell you one thing. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna telling you kind of like some bitter truth. You just have to understand it. First of all, is that ki when did you last time you think about your friend, or when did you last time you think about your cousin, or when did you last time you think about your sister or brother or any kind of like a something really the relative or your friend? Okay, yeah. If that person is kind of like a somebody living with you or living close to you or something like that, then you might gonna think about that. But what I'm trying to tell you is this thing: we always think about whatever the problem that we have. We always think about whatever the problem that we have, how do we solve that. We always think about how do we kind of like make our life something really better. We always think about how does our life is become better and things and something like that. Okay, yeah. Why we always think about ourselves? Why not we think about that key? Why do we kind of like a why do I kind of like a create something really better life for other? Like have you ever kind of like a seen any kind of like a person who's think that key let's make other life better? A very rare kind of like a person, and those person are kind of like somebody one of the rarest person. Am I in that particular category? No. Am I not? Okay, first of all is that key I wanted to make myself better first. Better means every point of perspective, like financially, economically, then relationship wise, everything. I wanted to make myself better. Okay, then my family or my people around me make it better. And when I still have kind of like a something opportunity or kind of like some things, then I will kind of like something make people's life better. But first priority is make my life better, na? Okay, yeah. So that is kind of like a something is this thing. Okay, yeah. So we are actually think about ourselves first. Okay, yeah. We are not usually say this thing to the everyone, but yeah, we actually think about ourselves kind of like a something first. Okay, yeah. So whatever the problem that we have, we are actually facing, and everyone thinks that it's one of the toughest, or it was kind of like a, something one of the biggest problem that they are facing. Okay, yeah. So everyone is kind of like a somebody facing the problem. So how do we kind of like somebody be positive in that particular situation? How do we supposed to be do something really positive? What should we supposed to do to be positive in that particular situation in the toughest time? Okay, yeah. First of all is that key I consider my life is kind of like somebody tough all the time for the rest of the lifetime. Okay, yeah. And problem will never gonna kind of like end in my life. I will always gonna face a problem. Okay, yeah. um I think that ki I believe hope for the best and prepare for the best. Means like that ki whatever the problem that you have, like hope for the best and just prepare for the worst. Okay, this is the mentality which kind of like somebody helped me to kind of like somebody, you won't be able to determine what kind of like a somebody problem that you will gonna face and things like that. You just have only one thing that you do is that solve that problem and things like that. And that is what I will gonna do. I'm just kind of like a solve the problem. Okay, yeah. Positivity is inside of me. Okay, yeah. I think that I am touchwood that I am filled with a positive person. Why I'm touchwood? Why? Because of that ki I think that my father is a very calm person. My mother is also little bit calm person. Okay, yeah, little bit, not that. Okay. And in my rest of the family background generations, every person is kind of like a somebody very calm person. Okay, yeah. So regarding about all those kind of like a somebody generation, I am touched wood, by the way, it's kind of like a some genetic inside of me that ki my emotions and anger are literally in control. Okay, yeah, in very control, by the way, because I seen so many people who kind of like a lose their anger so quickly. And yeah, it's really fucked up thing. I seen those people too. Okay, yeah. Another thing is that ki how am I kind of like a somebody be really positive is because of that ki I'm doing this self talk. The things that you are actually hearing is called self talk. It's called artifact episode. Okay, yeah. I am doing this thing since 2015, and I'm kind of like a somebody talk to myself regarding about every situation, asking this bunch of questions to myself, and it kind of like a something like helped me to share all my thoughts and everything. Okay, what is the actually problem is that ki we have kind of like a something so much emotion burden and we wanted to release that burden. Okay, yeah, but most of the time we don't really found any kind of like a only person that we could kind of like a share that burden and things like that, which is like a really fucked up situation. Okay, yeah. But I do like basically because of this self talk thing, I am kind of like a release all those problem, pressure, emotions, and everything. Whatever I have, I just release in here. So I am feel really good. I feel like I feel really light. My mind will kind of like something cleanse inside of me. So it's feel, I don't know how do I supposed to explain this thing. It's a kind of like a things that you should supposed to be experienced instead of listen that thing. Okay, yeah. So and as also is this thing, I ask bunch of question. I try to find out what is actually right and best and things like that. So because of that, I am feel little bit of positive. Okay, yeah, inside of me. I also looked at the world to the positive way. Okay, yeah. So yes, okay. Like this is how I kind of like a something really positive in the tough time. Okay, yeah. Because yeah, but what should you supposed to do if you are not doing any kind of like a some self talk thing, self talk artifact episode, then what should you supposed to do? Okay, yeah. Find kind of like a some right person or right partner. Okay, yeah. I haven't really experienced a kind of like a some girlfriend and boyfriend kind of like some relationship because I never really been on, but it's really important and it's really essential. Okay, yeah. And probably it's one of the kind of like a something like even more better than this self talk. Okay, yeah. Because like basically in this self talk, I usually talk about the things and things and things and things, but there is nothing to correct me. No one is actually kind of like a listening here and everything, and no one is actually correcting me. Okay, yeah. But if you are saying this thing in front of your partner, if in front of your kind of like a something a person, then you feel really good, you feel something really great, you feel, I don't know how do I supposed to explain this thing. It's a kind of like something really good. Okay, yeah. So finding that particular person is really essential because not only kind of like a something release the emotional burden inside of you, but it kind of like a something correct you, it kind of like a something find you to be better version of yourself. And that person might be your girlfriend, your significant other, your wife. Okay, yeah. So yeah. So basically it's this thing, get a girlfriend, get a wife, get a significant other, whoever the person that you are. Okay, yeah. And if you have that kind of like a somebody person, but you are not really talking to that person or you are not really talking that deeply, just talk, dude. Okay, yeah, just share your deep thought, just create the deep connection between you and her and things like that. It felt like a really amazing. Okay, yeah, like this is the way that you could be a positive, you could be kind of like a something, think about every point of perspective, and don't really consider to be that kid. It's a kind of like a something, she is this, she didn't really have that and something like that. No, just be share the entire thing. Okay, yeah, she could understand, like everyone could have that capability. And basically this thing na, ki whatever the emotion burden that you have, like a talking with your significant other is the only one of the best solution that you could kind of like a something done. Like a self-talk thing, it definitely gonna work, but it's kind of like a something, it takes time. Okay, yeah, because like let me do it. I'm kind of like a doing this thing for almost like years of years, and that's why I'm literally comfortable, and that's why I'm kind of like a somebody talk very fluently and things like that. Okay, yeah, so basically it takes almost like a month, at least. Like it took me almost like a 6 months to be comfortable to talk with myself, because at the first time it was so awkward. Okay, yeah, so basically if you are at kind of like a something emotional burden and pressure and things like that and tough time, and you are started talking self talk, it kind of like a add even more burden. Okay, yeah, because yeah, it takes time. Okay, yeah, it's a kind of like a something like skills that you're gonna develop. So first thing that you have to do is that ki get a kind of like a girl. Okay, get kind of like a something like girlfriend, boyfriend. What if like a like other than person, like maybe friend or kind of like a something I don't know, yeah. Maybe I'm not like a um, I won't be like I feel little bit of hesitate to kind of like do very deep connection or deep sharing thoughts with my friend. No, like I have friends, I we do talk with each other, but usually deep connection conversation, I usually preserve that conversation for my significant other. And yeah, if you wanted to share this thing with your friend or best friend, then yeah, you could do that. Okay, it's depend on like how much trust that you have with that particular person. If you have that, then you should go through that, that's it. Okay, yeah. So yeah, like this is the way that you could kind of like somethingly be positive in the tough time. Okay, yeah, first point is that key, do a self talk. Okay, self talk. Okay, it might be really help. Meditation is also really helpful, but still it doesn't really like it will not gonna kind of like a somebody giving you rapid thing. Okay, it will kind of like first of all you just have to be kind of like a focus, you just have to understand how to do meditation. Because like if you think that you just have to sit and breathe, like this is not just thing. Meditation is a kind of like some technique that you have to be learn, and it takes time. Okay, yeah, so you can do meditation, self talk. Okay, yeah, like the things that you are actually hearing is called kind of like artifact, you could do that too. Okay, or talk with your significant other. Okay, yeah, this is the way that you could be kind of like some be really positive and look at the world really positive way. Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, should I end here? Yeah, I have to be end here. All right, this is it, and thank you.